Here's what's coming up on today's show. I'm going to be reacting to Mel Kiper's latest mock draft, which is a 2-round mock draft. So we're finally going to see who Mel Kiper has going to the Fins. And then Tua Tagovailoa had a charity event last night. He spoke to the media. We'll tell you what he said. And if you haven't already, be sure to subscribe to our new NFL Draft channel. It is draft month, the draft coming up in a few weeks. We're going to have you guys covered, so be sure to subscribe to the channel, youtube.com/chatnfl. That sub link is in the comments in the description of today's video. Dolphins Today is sponsored by RexMD. If you go to rexmd.com/chat, you can get up to 90% off. We'll tell you more about that amazing deal later on in today's show. With that, we get into today's show. Dolphins fans, I am Will Scott. Appreciate you guys tuning in to the show. We're going to be reacting to Mel Kiper's mock draft here in a second. But first, some of y'all know that I'm a pretty big golfer. Big as in I play a lot, not big as in I'm good. I'm a 14 handicap. But I played one of the toughest courses I've ever played yesterday. TPC Las Colinas, a PGA Tour course, was home to the AT&T Byron Nelson for many years. So I want y'all to go down in the comments and predict what I shot yesterday. And the first person to guess correctly will get a shout-out on tomorrow's show. So go down in the comments. Let me know what you think I shot playing golf yesterday. Again, today's show about Mel Kiper's latest mock draft. And, you know, because the Dolphins don't have a first-round pick, we haven't been able to kind of enjoy Mel Kiper's mock drafts until now because this one was a 2-round mock draft. So we're able to see who he has going to the Dolphins at 51 overall. Let's see the picks before the Dolphins selection, though. Starting with number 44 overall, Kelee Ringo, the talented cornerback out of Georgia, going to the Atlanta Falcons, and then Byron Young out of Tennessee, the edge rusher, going to the Packers at number 45 overall. We talked about Matthew Bergeron as a potential Dolphins target, a fantastic right tackle option potentially, but here he is going to our division rival Patriots, according to Mel Kiper, at number 46 overall. And then another offensive tackle off the board, number 47, Blake Freeland out of BYU, going to the Washington Commanders. A lot of y'all like Jack Campbell, but unfortunately he is going to the Lions here, according to Mel Kiper. And I've said many of times on the show that I believe Campbell's going to be off the board before the Dolphins at number 51. Quite frankly, I think he's going to be off the board before number 48 as well. Julius Brents mocked to the Steelers here, the corner out of Kansas State, but the Dolphins do not need a cornerback, at least in the second round. And then at number 50 overall, the defensive lineman out of Northwestern, Adetomi Adibare, going to the Bucs at number 50 overall. So who does Mel Kiper have going number 51 overall the Dolphins? That would be TCU offensive lineman Steve Avila, mocked to the Dolphins here in the second round, according to Mel Kiper Jr. And you know who else had Steve Avila mocked to the Dolphins in their latest mock draft? That would be this guy, Willie Fins. Me and Mel Kiper both have Steve Avila mocked to the Dolphins in our latest mock drafts, and that's why you should subscribe. Great minds think alike, right? So be sure to subscribe for more Dolphins draft content. I'm going to be getting you guys another Dolphins mock draft here pretty soon. So subscribe because we got the draft coming up here in a couple weeks. We'll continue to get you guys more draft content. So subscribe to the channel right now. Taking a look at what Avila did last season at TCU, was a huge part of that offensive line that got the Horned Frogs to the national championship game. And he did not allow one sack as the starting right guard. Just 2 hits allowed, 9 hurries, and a PFF run grade of 67. He would be an outstanding pick here for the Dolphins. Someone that you could start at left guard right away. Would be a huge upgrade over Liam Eichenberg. I would feel a lot better about Avila in that spot than Eichenberg. Not to mention, Avila also has experience playing center. So he is versatile on any offensive line that he is going to join. I would be a big fan of this pick for the Dolphins. I'm also a big fan of this deal from RexMDs. I want to take a second to tell you about today's sponsor, RexMD. Fellas, do you sometimes lack confidence in the bedroom? We've all had those nights where we get too nervous or maybe had too much to drink. There's nothing worse than not being able to put the stick shift in drive when you need it the most. But have no fear, RexMD is here, spreading cheer even when you've had too many beers. RexMD is FDA approved and the most trusted leader in men's telehealth. They have sponsored today's Dolphins Today to help you be prepared. RexMD has made it simple, easy, and cost-effective to help all the men out there last longer and feel more confident in the bedroom. RexMD makes getting generic and branded Viagra or Cialis easy. Everything's online, even the prescription, and they deliver it discreetly to your door. No waiting rooms, no embarrassing trips to the doctor, no insurance, and no copays. Take advantage of their best deal they've ever offered and save up to 90% off and only pay about $2 per dosage with our exclusive link. Go to rexmd.com/chat for this limited time deal. Starter packs of generic Viagra or Cialis are now available for our listeners to get started. That's rexmd.com/chat for 90% off. That's got to be one of the best deals in the history of deals. Only pay $2 per dosage at rexmd.com/chat. That link is in the comments and the description of today's show as we shift back to Mel Kiper Jr.'s mock draft as he has the Dolphins selecting TCU guard Steve Avila in the second round. Here's what he said about the selection. The Dolphins have just 4 picks in this draft, 2 on day 2, 2 on day 3. I could see them trading down to try to add more. I could see Avila being a good fit because of his versatility. He's played every O-line position except for left tackle in college, seeing most of his time at center and left guard. Guard is likely where he would play for Miami. He's a strong run blocker, but he had some inconsistent reps in pass protection, so that's something that Avila, I think, would have to work on, and that might be a con of picking him as the pass protection concerns. I think it's very important for the Dolphins to pick a guard, tackle, whoever, that is a good pass protector because you have got to keep Tua Tagovailoa healthy. But nonetheless, I'd be a big fan of this pick. I think when the Dolphins select at number 51, if he's still on the board, he would be the best guard available. Do you want to draft Steve Avila? Type D for draft or type P for pass down in the comments section. Go down and let me know. I would be a fan of taking an offensive lineman in the second round. So I would say D for draft if he's available. Maybe if Darnell Washington's not available. We've talked about some other tackle options potentially. But Steve Avila could come in and be your starting left guard right away. It is the pinned comment on today's video. So when that break comes, go down, chime in, type D for draft or type P for pass. Here is who else was on the board at number 51 in Mel Kiper's mock draft. Derek Hall, the linebacker out of Auburn. Linebacker's in need, but not a huge one. Brenton Strange, the tight end out of Penn State. He was seen talking to Mike McDaniel and Chris Greer at Penn State's Pro Day. Jalen Hyatt, the wide receiver out of Tennessee. I mean, he might be the best on the board here at 51 if he's available. I don't think he's going to fall that far. Cam Smith, the cornerback out of South Carolina. And then we've talked about this guy, John Michael Smits, the center out of Minnesota. I'd be pretty hyped if the Dolphins picked him. He's arguably the best center in this draft class. Taking a look at some Dolphins draft needs, I have the top 5 needs here in my opinion. Number 1 is obviously offensive line. It could be left guard, could be right tackle, but you got to address the offensive line in this draft. Number 2 is tight end. You got to take a tight end in this draft, maybe even second round. Number 3 is running back. I don't think the Dolphins should take one in the second round, maybe in the third. Sean Tucker should be available at pick 84. Defensive line, that could be an edge rusher. That could be a backup defensive tackle. And then number 5, linebacker. It's a need, but not a huge need. I would not be upset if the Dolphins did not take a linebacker in this class because I want to see Channing Tindall get more involved this next season. What position should the Dolphins draft at number 51 overall? Go down in the comments section. Let me know what position should the Dolphins draft at number 51 overall. I would say either tight end or offensive line. Tua had his second annual Luau with Tua charity event last night as part of the Tua Foundation. There he is with his wife and newborn. Always good to see Tua out and about, especially at a charity event like this. And he was teaching Jason Taylor some dance moves. Is it the haka, the whatever it's called? It was fantastic to watch some of these videos emerging from last night's event. Mike McDaniel was there, Raheem Mostert, River Cracraft, Jason Taylor, a couple other notable guys as well that were at the Luau with Tua event yesterday. And Tua spoke to the media at the event, saying how he's feeling right now, how the offseason's going. Here's what he said. Offseason training has been good. Been working on strength in many areas and have been chipping away at things that I felt like I needed to work on to get where I feel like I can get to in the later parts of the season. How do I feel now compared to a year ago? I'm smiling a lot more. So I would say good. And Dolphins fans will certainly be smiling if Tua can stay healthy and have another productive year next season. He had a great year in 2022, 25 touchdowns, 8 picks, over 3,500 yards, a 65% chance complete, 65.0% completion percentage. If he stays healthy, sky's the limit. This guy can be a top 10, top 5 quarterback in this league next year if he can stay healthy. The big question is he going to stay healthy? And I think the Dolphins have got to address the offensive line, draft the left guard, maybe sign a right tackle, try to solidify that offensive line. But if he can stay healthy, watch out. This guy could be an MVP candidate next season. Keep in mind, before that losing streak the Dolphins went on, he was second in MVP odds, only behind Patrick Mahomes. He was rocking a stash at this charity event yesterday, a little Tua stash. I kind of like it, but let me know how y'all feel about the mustache down in the comment section. Type A, B, C, D, or F down in the comment section. We might have a mustache-themed super chat menu on our next live show. Producer Jack Lauderay will be producing that, so be sure to stay tuned for that. But rate the stash down in the comments. Type A, B, C, D, or F. Kind of has the Vince McMahon stash going on, if y'all saw that on Twitter this week. Be sure to subscribe to the channel. Again, we go live every Thursday at 4 p.m. Eastern Time. Hopefully you can join us for our next live show.